Okay, so are you ready to get a little bit strange with me today?
Always.
Okay, great. Because today, um, we're diving into something called the 10 Imperatives, the Bill of Supremacy. Have you ever heard of this?
Yeah, I have actually. It's quite a trip.
Yeah, it's basically the manifesto of a group calling themselves the RTBNXH Order.
That's the one.
And let me tell you, it is intense.
Yeah, intense is putting it mildly. This thing reads like a blueprint for total upheaval.
Yeah,
It's fascinating and frightening all at the same time.
totally. Even the title, the Bill of Supremacy, like,
Yeah.
they're not mincing words about their ambitions, you know?
Not at all, no.
One thing that jumps out right away to me is this obsession with crypto.
Uh-huh.
They talk about like inscribing their message on Bitcoin, Fractal, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, like every chain they could think of.
Yeah, that's the key, that they're using blockchain technology, almost like a digital engraving tool,
Right.
The immutability of the blockchain, that fact that it's practically tamper-proof is central to their whole philosophy.
It's like they're saying, this is our decree and it will stand forever. There's no room for debate or dissent.
Precisely. They crave absolute lasting control, and they see blockchain as the ultimate tool to achieve that. But it's not just about technology, though.
Right.
There's this whole other kind of philosophical undercurrent to this document. They talk about sound as a force, the architect of reality, even like the sculptor of consciousness.
Yeah, this is where things get a little strange for me.
Yeah.
They even quote, and I'm reading directly from the document here, sound is the architect of reality, the sculptor of consciousness. Now I know what you're thinking.
What am I thinking?
It's just some kind of new age mumbo jumbo,
Right.
but they seem deadly serious about this.
Yeah, I think they're tapping into something kind of primal, like a primal fear.
Yeah.
The idea that sound can bypass our rational minds and manipulate us on a subconscious level.
Right.
Like it's the stuff of horror movies, know?
Yeah, totally. But could there be any truth to it? I mean, I've read about experiments with ultrasonic frequencies. Could they be onto something, or is this just more fear-mongering?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, it's too early to say for sure, but whether it's through some kind of cutting-edge technology or just good old-fashioned propaganda, the RTBNXH Order clearly sees sound as a powerful tool for shaping reality.
Yeah, and that kind of brings us to the meat of this whole thing, the 10 imperatives.
Yeah.
Each one is like a building block in their vision for a new world order.
A world order built on their terms, of course, and these imperatives are not suggestions, they're commands.
Yeah, absolutely. The first one is create without permission. They seem to be advocating for a complete rejection of copyright intellectual property. Basically, any kind of regulatory control over creative output.
Yeah, it's a radical idea, isn't it? Just imagine a world where anyone could copy, remix, or redistribute any piece of art, music, or even software without consequence.
Right.
I mean, it would be complete chaos.
Chaos might be what they're going for. Imperative number 2 is destroy the obsolete. And they're not just talking about old technology here. They're talking about institutions, ideologies, anything they deem outdated.
And who gets to decide what's obsolete?
Right.
They do, of course, this is where their authoritarian tendencies really start to shine through. They see themselves as the ultimate arbiters of progress.
Right, which leads right into imperative number 3. Power without permission. They reject any form of external authority or control, governments, corporations, even social norms. It's all up for grabs.
This is a recurring theme in their ideology. They fetishize this idea of individual power, the idea that you can take what you want, shape the world to your will, with no regard for rules or consequences.
It's almost like they're romanticizing anarchy, but it's a very selective anarchy one where they're in charge.
Exactly, and anyone who questions their authority is swiftly dealt with. That's where imperative number 4 comes in. Silence all doubters.
Yeah, this one's particularly chilling. They talk about using any means necessary to suppress dissent. It's a very totalitarian mindset.
It is. They envision a world where their word is law, and anyone who disagrees is silenced, whether through intimidation, censorship, or worse.
Their 5th imperative is ascend without limits. It's all about pushing boundaries, transcending human limitations, achieving some kind of godlike status.
Yeah, it's almost transhumanist. They seem to believe that technology and willpower can overcome any obstacle, even death itself.
It's heady stuff, and it only gets weirder from there. They go on to talk about like bending reality, harnessing chaos, igniting the legacy of fire. It's all very dramatic and cryptic.
Cryptic, yes, but I think there's a method to their madness.
Okay.
They're deliberately using vague language to create an aura of mystery and power.
It's like they want to be both feared and revered.
Exactly. They understand the power of symbolism and spectacle.
Okay, so you've walked us through the 10 imperatives, and frankly, it's a lot to process. What does this all mean? Are these guys a serious threat, or are they just a bunch of internet trolls playing dress-up?
I don't think we can dismiss them so easily. You know, ideas have power, especially in the digital age, and the RTBNXH Order is tapping into some very real anxieties about the future, anxieties about technology control, and the shifting balance of power.
So what does this all mean for, like, the average person listening to this right now?
Right.
Is the RTBNXH Order a glimpse into a dystopian future, or just a bunch of keyboard warriors with delusions of grandeur?
I think the answer is probably somewhere in between. You know, the RTBNXH Order, whether they realize it or not, is holding up a mirror to our times. They're forcing us to confront the changing nature of power and control in the digital age.
Yeah.
They're challenging us to think critically about the implications of unchecked ambition and the potential consequences of a world where traditional boundaries and constraints are dissolving.
Yeah, this deep dive has definitely left me with more questions than answers.
Me too.
What do you think about the RTBNXH Order and their Bill of Supremacy? Could their vision of the future become a reality? That's something to ponder as you continue your own exploration of this fascinating and, frankly, somewhat terrifying topic.
Very much so.
Thanks for joining me.
Of course, anytime.
All right, we'll see you next time.
See ya.